Okay. The United States should take authority over our territory, help protect our jobs and our government resources, and protect our way of life by building a wall along our southern border. There's a lot of reasons on why this should be done, but tonight we're going to go over just a few of them. First, I want to start with taking a look at our government resources that the United States is misplacing to immigrants. The Central of Immigration Studies, I'm going to be doing a lot of quotations from them tonight, but if you want to get a copy of them, I can get them for you if you like. So the first one I'm going to go over with is by Jason Redwine, and he posted a report with the CIS in September of 2015. They published a landmark study that stated that 51% of immigrant-headed households used at least one federal welfare program, whether it be cash, food, housing, or medical insurance, compared to the 30% of native households. He also stated a couple more figures in the same report. One of them is that the average headed household by an immigrant cost the U.S. taxpayer $6,234 in federal welfare benefits, which is 41% higher than the $4,431 received by the average native household. He also states that immigrant-headed households use 33% more cash welfare, 57% more food assistance, and 44% more Medicaid dollars in all of that together. So obviously, immigrants are costing us a lot of our government resources, and I know that there are immigrants coming from other places that aren't Mexico, but in a report from Stephen Corrado and Karen Ziegler, it is stated that in 2015, the nation's immigrant population hit a record high of 42.1 million, an increase of 1.7 million since the same quarter in 2014. Growth in the immigrant population in that last year, being between 2000 and 2015, was led by 740,000 increase in Mexican immigrants. And in a new report by Camerado, he says that there are now 61 million immigrants living in the United States with their children, which is obviously a pretty big jump from the 42.1 million in 2015. In an audience analysis before the speech, I asked, what country do you think gets America gets the most immigrants from? And 100% of my responders all gave the correct answer, which is Mexico. So that's part of like our welfare and what's going on with that. But in other ways they're affecting the money and stuff is with our jobs. Most of the immigrants that are coming over here have attended less school than natives. Whether the natives dropped out or not, they are usually more skilled and more advanced than any of the immigrants coming in. So they're coming in with less schooling and less skill, which of course they can get paid less wages, which a lot of employers like and will hire them instead. So Redwine has another report, and in this report he states that native-born high school dropouts worked 1,391 hours per year, while immigrant dropouts worked 1,955 hours per year. Obviously, we cannot prove that the immigrants are taking place of the natives, but it is very obvious that they are replacing the natives in the workforce. And rather than find the solution for that, we are just allowing them to keep doing this. So we've discussed our resources and the jobs and what's going on there, but the most important thing is the security of the American citizens. And for Homeland Security to protect the citizens of America, we have to secure our borders, we have to maintain what's coming in them, what's going out of them, and we just have to watch them. So in my audience analysis, I also asked, do you think our Homeland Security should be increased? 75% believed it should, where 2 of them said that they wasn't really sure, and 1 of them did say no, that they didn't think it should be increased. Just on touching on that, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement reports that they conducted 240,255 removals of immigrants in 2016, and 65,332 were convicted criminals. So now if they're coming over here to create a better life for themselves and their family, I don't quite understand why they are being convicted of crimes. And this is just a pie chart showing you the whole thing. The blue are the ones that are not convicted criminals, and the orange is convicted criminals of the deports in 2016. So As you can see, it's about a fourth of the amount that was deported, which is not that much, but it does affect us quite a bit. Okay, so while we're on the topic of convicted aliens and immigrants, I want to take a look at Jessica Vaughn's 2014 report for the CIS. The Immigrations and Customs Enforcement freed 36,007 convicted criminal aliens who were awaiting deportation proceedings. And among the 36,007, they had 88,000 convictions. So that's an average of 2 to 3 convictions per alien. And of these convictions, there was 193 homicides, 426 sexual assault convictions, 303 kidnapping convictions, 1,075 aggravated assault convictions, 1,160 stolen vehicle convictions, 9,187 dangerous drug convictions, 16,070 drunk or drug driving convictions, 303 flight escape convictions. That was all just in that little amount of aliens. So obviously we do have citizens that are committing these same exact crimes. However, when they're natives, they're not really, you can't really do much about it. But as far as the immigrants go, if they wouldn't have been here in the first place, they couldn't have committed those crimes against our citizens. So now we went over resources and jobs and some of the security issues. I would also like to share some other people's opinions on a U.S. southern border wall. Stephen Camarado stated in his testimony during a subcommittee on national security hearing held April 27, 2017. He states, quote, "If a border wall stopped 160,000 to 200,000 illegal crossers, which is only about 10% of expected crossings in the next decade, the fiscal savings would be equal to 12 to 15 billion for the cost of the wall," end quote. But there has been a lot of talks around on how much a U.S. wall would, how much the wall would cost. However, if you know, that's just a 10%. I mean, if you stop 20 or 30 or 40, obviously it's going to go up, and in time it's going to pay for itself. In the same exact meeting, in the same exact hearing, Chairman Mr. DeSantis states in the same hearing, sorry, I said that, border walls have been successful in recent years. President Trump has identified Israel border security measures as a potential model for U.S. border, Mexico border. The construction of a security fence on the Israel-Syrian border cut illegal entries from about 16,500 in 2011 to just 43 in 2013 and only 12 in 2014. That's a 99% decrease in the amount of illegal immigrants. Benjamin Netanyahu, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Israel's prime minister, remarked that President Trump is right. "I built a wall along Israel's southern border. It stopped all illegal immigration. Great success, great ideas." These are just some of the reasons. And I would like to show you guys a visual on the Israel, one of the Israel border walls that Trump is considering for the American border walls. You can just see kind of how it's all laid out there. So as I pointed out, we are losing a lot of resources, we're losing a lot of jobs to immigrants. I'm all for helping people, and if they want to come over here legally and start their life, you know, and do it the legal way, and I'll support that. But I don't support our nation giving immigrants more jobs and more welfare than our natives. The wall will help us improve this and protect our citizens. Thank you.